How's it going, my dudes? Welcome back to another video. So it has been a minute since I've uploaded anything on my channel, and this is because I've been looking for something that I can play and I think I can enjoy making content out of, and this game has been on my radar for quite a bit of time. So there are a few things why I feel like this game is gonna be probably my next go-to game to record and make content on. But if this game is something that doesn't interest you, I would still wish for you to hang around, but if you ever change your mind, you can always hit the unsubscribe. No hard feelings over there, and I wish you the best of luck. But if you're new to the channel and you already know about this game, DISLYTE, then I welcome you to hit the subscribe button. It is free and you can always change your mind afterwards. But for the rest of my precious audience who have been following me since the start of my channel, you know, if you think that this game is something that you might find joy in, dude, seriously, come and join me for this game. It's pretty fun. There is a lot of accomplishments to be made, and you can kind of think of this as like the day one Summoner's War state, where things are kind of new and fresh, and it's like a non-toxic, good, clean slate to the game. So I'll give you guys some pointers on why I think that this game is going to be good, not just for me, but in terms of the game itself and its lifespan. This game is just basically a dystopian perspective to Summoner's War, so there are a lot of things that you would find very familiar, such as like the awakening materials and the rune system. So it can be a little bit grindy, but there are a lot more quality of life features in this game, and I think the aesthetics in general is just really well done. So the developer and the publishers are the same person, DISLYTE Games, and they have done a tremendous job at the aesthetics. But if you have somehow not heard of the developer, you may have heard of AFK Arena, and you may have also heard of Rise of Kingdoms. While these games have some pay-to-win aspects to it, basically because they tend to release a lot of PvP-based games, but the developer is also very well known for being extremely free-to-play friendly, and this is something that I've experienced in this game as well. So the game is currently in a pre-release state, so we do not even have like a lot of rewards because currently they are just filtering a little bit of rewards one at a time just to keep the pre-release players a little bit happy. And man, I've already summoned like so many times. So based on their track record, I can assume a lot of things. So number one, there's going to be a ton of events, which is something that I'm already seeing over here. There are like maybe 2 or 3 events per week, and they are not the kind that really disrupts your gameplay. It's kind of like if you do something, like have some activity points per day, you're gonna get some rewards. Those are the kind of events that is very helpful for players because there's very little hand-holding, which is something that's really nice about this game, I think. So I think when the game fully releases around April to May period, I would expect a slew of events and probably a lot of freebies as well. So all free-to-play players are going to enjoy their time over here, and that's a very important thing to me. So in my perspective, I think both pay-to-win players and free-to-play players should have their fair share of fun. A game should not be just fully focused on pay-to-win players because then that takes away the joy from the community itself. And everyone knows that the free-to-play players are what makes up your community. Your pay-to-win players is what gives them electricity to run their fireplace in the winter. Yeah, that doesn't make sense, but let's move on. As far as I'm aware, I think there is only one server. I'm not sure when they release the game, then they may release multiple servers, but I doubt it. And regardless, I'm sure you would be able to select the server that you want, but fingers crossed we should still stick to the same server. So this is for several reasons. Okay, so now we are currently in the pre-release state. It is released in several regions like Canada, it's released in UK, it's also released in Philippines, and some of the Southeast Asian countries like Indonesia. It's not actually released in the bulk of the Southeast Asian countries, so your whales are still not in the game yet, and it's also not released to USA. So it's already kind of globalized, and it's not actually split into 2 different regions because yes, there's Canada, there's UK, and there's Indonesia and Philippines. These are wildly different time zones. So I have a strong belief that the game is still going to remain entirely global. But of course, we will see, things could change, who knows. And as for me, I'm from Singapore, so the game is actually not released to my country, but I am playing by downloading the APK directly of APK Pure, so I will put the link down in the descriptions below. For Android users, you can actually log in from wherever you are. As for iOS users, I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to download it because I don't own an iPhone, but you can still use an emulator to play right now. And do take note that when the game fully releases, there is going to be a no-wipe system. So if you start now, you're going to keep your account. And for the newer players who will be like, wait, what? Then how is that fair, right? I hear you. But to be honest, most of the content here can be cleared within a relatively short period of time. I think in about 2 weeks' time, you should be able to clear most content. But in terms of PvP, yes, I can foresee this being a little bit of a problem. But to be honest, the game has been in pre-release for like the past 5 months or so, and I still find myself pretty competitive. And I think this is largely because of all the rebalancing and balancing and post-balancing that the game tends to do. So right now, they are kind of like shifting a lot of the stats, a lot of the skills, and a lot of the multipliers on units that are a little bit more broken. So it's like a constant cycle right now. So some of the units that were very relevant in the past few months, I think now they are less relevant. So if you're up to date on what's good and what's not, then you would have a much easier time getting into the game, figuring out what units are worth building, and of course that's where I come in to share my experiences so far. So I've played this game for maybe about the past 3 weeks, and it hasn't been short of a joy for me. And to me, another reason why I think this game is good is because they actually prioritize some of your lower star rarity units. So some of your rare units like the 3-star units, they are actually quite relevant and they're actually very strong. So I have some 3-star units that I've built all the way up to 6 stars and they are remarkably strong. So it's not a game where like a 5-star unit is always better than a 3-star unit. That's not true at all. In fact, some 3-star units, like for example, I have one character that can actually one-shot a very specific 5-star character who is like a very tanky unit. Because my 3-star units of like the proper element and he has ignore defense, then I can actually one-shot a lot of things with that unit. And he is actually the bottom left character that you're looking at on the screen right now. And he's super powerful because he can activate a lot of extra attacks and throw out a lot of damage in one single turn. But yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about the details of the game right now. The point of this video is just to give you guys an update on what I'm doing with my life right now and probably get you guys excited about what's to come for my channel in the future. So apart from team building, I definitely enjoy PvP because I like to test my team against the best in the game. Of course, PvE is fun and all, you know, achieving a better score, achieving a faster runtime, but at the end of the day, if you do not have a PvP concept to the game, yes, it is less toxic, but there is also very much less to do in the game. There is a lot less achievements to be made, and there is a lot less feel-good factors in the game. But that's just my opinion. And maybe to quickly summarize like some of the other things that I really like about the game. Number one, it has an official Discord server. You can actually interact with the developers of the game. You can actually interact with actual staff in the game itself. And they are not just there for show, they are actually there to communicate with the players, which is a huge thumbs up for me. Communication is so important. There is also a chat and a guild system in the game, so you don't really feel like you're alone all the time. If you play World Flipper, you know what I mean. But yeah, I mean, it can be good and bad. Sometimes the chat can be a little bit toxic, blah blah blah. And of course, it is not very important to chase banners. So for a lot of other games, a lot of other gacha games, right, it's very important for you to meet the new banner because the banner will usually have power creep units, but that is not the case for this game. So if you have whatever summons that you have, they are always going to be viable. You just need to know how to build them correctly, which also leads to my next point, which is every single unit that you have is not the same as the same unit that someone else is using. There is a lot of variation in the quality of the runes or the relics that you have equipped on the unit, or in this game they call the units espers, or you could be running entirely different set effects, which would make your unit wildly different from another one. So yeah, I like the feeling that, you know, your game doesn't actually just end when you can clear a certain content, when you just pull a certain unit, when you can do it at like the most fastest optimal time. There is always room to grow, which is good, so that the game doesn't really feel like it's gonna die on you. Well, at least not for probably the foreseeable future, I guess. But there are a lot more points that I have not mentioned, but I don't think I need to mention everything. I would highly recommend you to try it out for yourself. And let me know what you think down in the comments below. So I guess I can end today's video over here. I'm probably not going to upload so frequently for now. Maybe like once in a while, perhaps. Because the game is currently in pre-registration and it's very much under the radar, I don't really see a need to upload on a daily basis for now. But yes, as the game reaches its release date, I'm sure to upload a lot more content and keep you guys entertained again, while hopefully you guys were entertained in the past. But regardless, let me know down in the comments what you think about the game. Is it something that would interest you? Let me know all your opinions down in the comment section below. And this has been Free to Play, by the way, and as always, I will see you in the next video.